Traders, welcome to Module 1. I am super excited to take you on this journey. All of the modules are specifically and intentionally designed to help you learn how you're wired, how to unwire, and how to rewire. The reason why we named this module the Golden Rule is because this is where the foundations are built. And remember, you can only build as high as your foundation is deep. This module will help you tackle the root cause as to why most traders fail and how they fall into the 95% that keep on losing. Oh, traders, by the way, did you get your Rewired journal yet? If not, please pause this audio and go get it. I can't stress enough the importance of your Rewired journal. Everything that you're going to learn about yourself is going to be recorded in this journal, and it will be specifically tailored to you. There is no one size fits all in this game. You are a unique individual, and no two journeys are the same. This actually reminds me of the quote, "In a forest of 100,000 trees, no two leaves are alike. No two journeys along the same paths are alike." You're on this journey, and it's not going to be the same as anybody else's. It's going to be completely different. And this is why, through your awakening process, you're going to be able to record, look back, and review all of the breakthroughs that you have. Remember, traders, your source of information. Would you learn fitness advice from somebody who is overweight? Or would you take business advice from someone who's never owned a business? Probably not, right? Because they're not in the position that you wish to be. And this is why you cannot instill a quality into somebody that you don't possess yourself. I can't transfer something to you that I'm not experiencing or I experienced myself. But in the past, you've probably taken advice from people that are not in the position that you wish to be, and you're scratching your head and wondering why you didn't get the results. But believe me, that's about to change. You are never going to be alone in this program. I'm going to say that again. You are never going to be alone in this program. I'm always here right with you. I will be guiding you every step of the way. What I'm about to tell you will likely conflict with your belief system. It will likely conflict with what you've been taught in the past. See, the thing is, success has very little to do with skills. Your success and wealth in life has very little to do with hard work. Success and wealth is not about intelligence. If someone emphasizes to you that you need to figure out the hows, focus on the hows, then you're listening to the wrong source of information. Remember, as a student, don't reinvent the wheel. The wheel has been given to you. You just need to use it. Just like cooking, if you modify the recipe that has been created by the master chef, you're not going to end up with the exact dish. That's why in life, you need to listen to a few people, not the noisy ones, but the ones that get actual results that you want. The creative process is a very delicate balance between intention and surrender, that you have to get out of your way for something greater to take over. This is why it's 80-20. We focus on 80 to 90% on the intention, thinking part of the process, and the rest on the how and the action. Without clear intention of what you want, blindly jumping onto action will deplete your energy. Now let me talk to you about what the Golden Rule is. See, the Golden Rule consists of two components. The first component is what goes on inside your mind. This is how you think and how you feel. This is based on your why. Let me give you a few words to describe what I'm talking about. We're going to be thinking about words like thought patterns, desires, dreams, goals, mental attitude, intention, emotions, energy, feeling. This is your why. Think about why you're trading in the first place. What is your why? What dreams do you have as a trader? Are your dreams to be a full-time trader? Are your dreams to break out of the 9 to 5 and live a life of financial independence and abundance? What is your intention when you first started trading? What is your intention right now? What is your emotions right now? What emotions do you feel while you're trading? What is your energy when you're trading in the markets? The reason the why is so important is because when the going gets tough, it's the why that keeps you going, keeps you inspired. This is why the first component is crucial for you to succeed in the markets. Because listen, traders, trading isn't easy. It's difficult, and you're going to experience very many tough times. But it's elements of the first component, such as your mental attitude, that's what's going to get you going through. Having a clear intention behind why you're trading in the first place. When you have to go back to the drawing board time and time again, you need to make sure that your goals and your dreams about trading is bigger than the pain and the frustration that you'll need to go through. See, nothing else matters unless you have the first component in check. This is why the why is so important for your future success as a trader. See, many of the most successful people throughout history all knew and know this secret. I'm going to explain in more detail about this later in this module. Now let's talk about the second component. This is now about the hows. Now don't get me wrong, action is important. You're probably thinking, but I need to take action. But the truth is, aligned action will get you so much further. As a trader, jumping into the charts to place trades just to take action will lead to nothing but disaster. Getting clear on your why first, then combine that with action, will help you tap into the process to become a truly successful trader. Now let me give you a few words to describe what I mean. I want you to think about words such as trading techniques, trading strategies, action steps, plans, executing trades, backtesting strategies, forecasting, journaling your trades. See, these are things that when you first start learning how to trade, we want to jump into the charts and backtest. You may already resonate with this and fallen into this trap. You may be eager to want to be in the live market just to be involved, not realizing that yes, these things are very, very important to your success as a trader, but it's important that we circle back to the why first. See, you can't backtest effectively if you don't have intention behind what you're backtesting. So you need to take time to learn a strategy first, and then you backtest after. So you can't execute trades and have the right mental focus if you haven't got your why, your mental attitude, and your emotions in check first. What I'm trying to say here essentially is that the action part is very, very important, but only as a complement to getting clear on the why part first. Don't spend equal time with thinking and actions. The thinking part is 99.9%. Thoughts are the most important part. Now, this is a slight bit of exaggeration, but this is just to emphasize that the thinking part is so important, and the action part, that comes after. Focus all of your attention first on your thoughts. Work on your thinking process. To illustrate our point even further, let's go through our first exercise together so you can see how important and how powerful the golden rule truly is. Before we begin this powerful exercise, I want you to go and grab your journal. If you don't have it already, I want you to pause this right now and go and grab it. Remember, as you awaken through this process, it's important that you're taking notes through your Rewired journal. So if you don't have it, go grab it right now and join me back. For those of you that do, let's begin. Let's think about and imagine a dream team. This isn't just any average team. I'm talking about a high performing team. This is a team that gets results. Essentially, they get the job done. If you've had experience working with this type of team in the past, I want you to bring that team into the present moment. Think back to when you was working with that team. Recall the meetings that you had when they were super productive, when you was masterminding and you was in a state of flow. I want you to really think about that and bring their traits forward to the front of your mind. I want you to close your eyes and observe that entire team. However, if you haven't had a chance, simply imagine a dream team. Now, this could be a team that's comprised of any area. This could be a sports team. This could be a sales team. Or this could even be a business team. Think about what are the qualities and the characteristics and the traits that this team possesses. So now let's open a blank page in your journal. What I want you to do is list out 10 words that describe the traits of this dream team. Don't judge it, just whatever comes to mind. Ideally, these are 1-word or 2-word answers. So let me give you a few examples. Is this a team that is trustworthy? Is this dream team? Do they have high energy? Is this a team that is committed? Does this dream team have passion? Do they think big? So now I'm going to give you some time for you to take over and list the 10 traits of your ultimate dream team. Welcome back, traders. I hope you've got your list of 10 in front of you. I've got my list right here. As remember, I'm going to be walking you through the Rewired program every step of the way. So let's take a look at the list. So number 1 on my list, and I'm curious to see if you guys have got similar ones on your list. So number 1, I have focused. Number 2 in the dream team, confident. Number 3, committed. Number 4, responsible. Number 5, open-minded. Number 6, optimistic. Number 7, punctual. Number 8, disciplined. Number 9, good listener. And number 10, loyal. See, this is the first part, and I'm curious to know if you had any similar traits from your ultimate dream team. Now what I want you to do is look over that list of traits of your dream team, and I want you to think about the words. I want you to really think about whether you believe those words are either categorized into 2 sections: mindset related and skills related. So I want you to do this. Now as you read back through your list, I want you to put a circle next to any of those traits that you believe that are related to mindset. And then I want you to put a star next to any of the words and traits that are related to skills. So these are skills related. So now let's go back through my list and we can do this together. So the first word, focused. Is that skill related or mindset related? I'm going to put a circle. That's mindset related. Confident, mindset related. Committed, mindset related. Responsible, mindset related. Can you see the pattern here? Open-minded, mindset related. Optimistic, mindset related. Punctual, we'll give that one a skill set. Disciplined, mindset related. Good listener, we'll give that one skill set. And last but not least, loyal, mindset related. So you can see the pattern here. What's happening? So we have our 10 traits. 8 out of 10 are mindset related, and only 2 are skill set related. So there's a good chance that you probably have a very similar ratio. And you can see the pattern here. 80% out of the 100% are mindset related, and only 20% are skill set related. See, I've already done this exercise with so many people. I've done this exercise for my dream team over and over again. And what consistently happens is that it's an overwhelming amount of mindset related, whichever time you do it. This is why we emphasized at the beginning of Module 1 the importance of the golden rule. And now you can see that success has very little to do with just skill set, but more so overwhelmingly mindset, and then skill set follows. Let me share with you another powerful story that illustrates the teachings of the golden rule. You see, I didn't invent this information. This information has been taught to me from my previous mentors, and their mentors also taught them. But only a small group of people have tapped into this universal law. Two of those individuals are Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie. And this brings me to the book, How to Raise Your Own Salary by Napoleon Hill. See, many people will remember Napoleon Hill for Think and Grow Rich, and they won't know about this book. This book is a dialogue between Napoleon Hill and Andrew Carnegie, where Napoleon asked questions and observed the answers from Andrew Carnegie. And for those of you that don't know, here's a little bit about who Andrew Carnegie is. Andrew was one of the most richest man on the planet. His net worth was about 350 million back in the 1920s. That's worth billions of dollars today. Many of you have heard about Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But did you know that it was Andrew Carnegie that inspired and commissioned Napoleon Hill for a 20-year project called Think and Grow Rich? Many of you don't know that Think and Grow Rich was actually a watered-down version of the original manuscript called The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. You see, Andrew and his inner circle, his mastermind, had already tapped into this power, which is the golden rule. Only working a few hours a day and taking 3 months vacation every single year, he still managed to run the biggest empire in the world. Now, this is the same power that you're about to tap into. This book is also in the Rewired Success Library, and I strongly recommend that you give this a read. What I want to do now is read for you a few of the dialogues in this topic that you're going to really enjoy. Andrew Carnegie said, "Why men with little or no schooling often succeed, while men with extensive schooling are failing all around them. Look carefully and you will discover that great successes are the result of understanding and use of positive mental attitude. Mental attitude is the quality of mind which gives power to one's thoughts and plans." Remember, in component number 1, when we were focusing on the why, one of the words was mental attitude. So you can see why focusing on the why is so crucial. Now this is apart from Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill asked, "How long does it require, Mr. Carnegie, for one's mental attitude to begin attracting the physical and financial requisites of one's major purpose?" Carnegie replied, "That depends entirely upon the nature and the extent of one's desires, and the control one exercises over his mind in keeping it free from fear and doubt and self-imposed limitations." See, as a trader myself, fear, doubt, and self-imposed limitations are something I had to overcome on my journey to becoming a successful trader. I hope by now you understand the importance of the golden rule. My mentor once told me, "Mark, if knowledge was the most powerful thing, then librarians would be the richest." Think about that for a moment. If success has to do with skills or how, then the most skilled person should be the richest, right? No, it's the complete opposite. Success in life has little to do with skills alone or the hows. Success and wealth is not about intelligence. If success has to do with skills, then the highest PhDs should run the world, right? No, because it's the opposite. Have you ever met those that work so hard in their life, day in, day out? They take multiple jobs, working from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night. Guess what? By the end of the day, they can barely make ends meet. And on the other side of the coin, what is common within the super successful wealthy people is that they're so clear on defining their vision. You can't begin your journey in life without knowing your destination. You need to know what you want out of life. What do you really want out of life? Common things that I observed throughout the year is that all great achievers all had defined their dreams and were very clear on their vision. Think about every single area in your life. Think about why you're here. Why are you listening to this? Remember, you're not here by coincidence. You've made an investment in yourself to be here. But let me ask you, why are you here? Think about what's driving you. What's pushing you to listen to this audio program? When you come home from work, tired, it's time to unwind and turn on the TV. What's that driving force that is going to inspire you, motivate you, encourage you to go a little bit further, push a little bit deeper? Every single prize has its price. Nothing comes without putting in the hours, because you have to pay the price now to then receive the prize later. But listen, traders, it's the journey on the way to the prize that matters, because being able to wake up one day and being able to see the market like the back of your hand and being able to execute on the flow state, knowing that you now have the skills and that you can trade the market like it's second nature and no one can take that away from you. That is the ultimate prize. This actually reminds me of a quote by Charlie Munger. Bearing in mind, this is Warren Buffett's right-hand man, another billionaire who understands this universal law. To get what you want, you have to deserve what you want. The world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a whole bunch of undeserving people. Now let me ask you, what are you going to commit to get the most out of this program? Because the more honest that you are with me and transparent with yourself, the more value you'll be able to extract from this program. Now let's conclude. Let's come back to the most important point in Module 1. And to summarize this, your success and wealth in life has very little to do with hard work, but more to do with the mindset, as we spoke about in Component 1. Remember, it's about the why and not just the how. The actions are important, but we need to get clear on the why first, and then when we have aligned action, remember, that's how we get further. Now to wrap up this module, let's get into another powerful exercise. And before we do that, make sure you've got your Rewire journal handy so you can take the key notes. Now what I want you to do is be aware of how you're thinking every single day. The exercise that I want you to perform is that every day you catch yourself focusing on the how questions. Remember, things like, how can I find this next winning trade? Whenever you find yourself thinking like this, I want you to grab your Rewire journal and note it down. See, we have to be able to bring ourselves into a state of awareness. So we're aware of these things, we can make the shift from the how to remember the most important component, which is the why. So by tallying these things down, when you catch yourself in the moment of asking yourself those questions, how can I find that next winning trade? How can I catch that trade from the top or from the bottom? Remember, it's the why first. So I want you to record that every single day so we can tally that up. And once we bring it to your awareness, we can shift ourselves to where we need to be, which is in the why. And traders, listen. The reason why this is so crucial, because the more that you focus on the how, the further away you drift from the flow zone. This is going to be one of the most powerful moments in the Rewired program. I can assure you that after this, you will never be the same again. This concept that we have designed is called the flow zone. Let me tell you what the flow zone is and why it's so important for you as a trader to be in the flow zone as frequently as possible. The flow zone is where you're operating with a clear, calm, and concise mind. Now let's define the flow zone. The flow zone is the mental state of oneness, a focused state of awareness and consciousness in which the mind seamlessly flows with the markets. The majority of people don't achieve their goals because they don't focus enough on the why. They lack intention in their life. Instead, they consistently focus on the how, pushing them further away from their goals. Remember, in the introduction, we spoke about over 95% of traders fail. This is one of the reasons why they fail. What questions do you think that they're asking themselves? Do you think that the 95% of traders that fail, are they asking themselves more why questions or how questions? I'll let you be the judge. But traders, let me tell you this. From working with over thousands of traders over the years, the common pattern that I observe is that the traders that tend to focus on the how are naturally more anxious people. However, the traders that tend to focus on the why, they're naturally more clear, calm, concise, more neutral, and overall more successful. And the thing is, being anxious in the financial markets is almost guaranteed failure. And plus, it makes the trading experience a lot less enjoyable. But now what I want to talk to you about is more of these how examples that people will be asking themselves. Let's take a look at a few of them. Number one, how do I increase my income and achieve my financial goals? Now there's many methods that you could use for this. You could be in real estate. You could have a portfolio. You could be trading Forex. You could be trading stocks. You could be trading cryptocurrency. You could own a business. So honestly, there are so many different methods of how you could do this. But it's important that we go back to the why. Because remember, the why is where we have clarity and you're clear. So you know that you're spending your precious time on what is really, truly aligned to you. Another how question. How am I going to meet the partner of my dreams? To be honest, I don't even know how to answer that. Because there are quintillion possibilities of how that could happen. But it's not important to focus on the how. We want to focus on the why. This could be in a bar, this could be in a university, you could meet your partner at school, you could meet your partner at work. How has so many different possibilities. So if you focused on the how, you'd become anxious. You'd have a lack of certainty. It's more important that you get clear on the why first. Why are you asking these questions? This is where you're going to get more clarity. Another example. How can I get my next winning trade? Traders, think about it when you're in the moment, asking these questions. And I know that you do. I've been there myself many of times. How can I find that next winning trade? Instead of thinking how, focus back on the why. Remember the golden rule. When you're asking yourself these questions of how can I find the next winning trade, this demonstrates a lack of clarity. You're not asking enough why questions. Going back to component number one, when you're clear on your goals, when you're clear on your vision of your long-term goals to be a successful trader, it's less about the how can I find the next winning trade and more about getting clear on the why. It's really important that you do these exercises. See, in life, it's not always about the big, significant things. It's actually rarely about that. The majority of the time, it's the insignificant, small things that are so easy to do, yet so easy not to do. It's so easy for you to not record your how questions and be in this repetitive loop of cycle of unsuccessful traders. But if you're listening to this audio program and you're serious about becoming rewired, you have to perform these exercises. Remember, you made that commitment, not just to me, but to yourself. But I can assure you this, if you do this, if you do what I suggest daily, you'll see the results. In the introduction module, I mentioned there are 3 stages to the rewired process. Are you able to name the first stage of the rewired process without even looking at your notes? If you are, amazing. You're learning through that repetition. If you haven't, and if you can't recall what that first stage is, remember, it's important that you go through this over and over again, because the brain learns through repetition. Let me repeat that. The brain learns through repetition. The brain learns through what exactly? Repetition. Exactly. So you just proved it. And this highlights the importance of why we go over the basics. We need to master the basics and get it down. Because once we do, you'll know it like it's second nature, like the back of your hand. This flow zone exercise will unlock your potential to become more aware of your conscious thinking and your existing thinking patterns. Traders, this is the end of Module 1. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And remember, this is where the foundations are built. As you awaken through your journey to becoming a more profitable and consistent trader, it's important that you learn in the right way, that all of the layers build on each other. To think about that we're only just getting started on Module 1, I can't wait to see you progress and grow. But remember, to build the highest skyscraper, we have to lay the foundations. And after all, repetition is the mother of all mastery. And as we master the basics, we build, and we build. It's important that you go back over and over again, so feel free to revisit this as much as possible. Remember, I'm right here with you every step of the way. Traders, I'll see you tomorrow. May you always be in